Hi, I'm Dave, and you're watching Spark and Build.
Let's talk wooden screens. Everyone likes a nice wood screen. I like them, I think you like them, and this window over here, it's a fan of wooden screens too. Like this, but prettier. If you are new here, we build pretty things while spending as little money as possible. It's pretty much the best way I can say I use scrap wood. I think the fancy term is repurposed materials. Anyways, I also share a bunch of videos with my dog, so stick around for that. Okay, but anyway, back to the screen. You just saw me bust a bunch of lumber into strips. That is for the face of the screen, and needless to say, we made a rather large amount of those strips. Anyways, to frame this face, we're going to create notches for those strips within a frame, and this is how that went. So using the vernier, we measured out various notches, and then we repeat throughout the whole plank. Now this project's rather monotonous, so I skipped a few steps on camera. So after cutting along the edge of every notch, we now use the circular saw to cut the notch out itself. This is done through cutting various cuts within the notch, and then we'll chisel all that excess out. Is it just me, or is that crazy satisfying? Well, anyways, the chisel itself doesn't get everything perfect, so we need to go and chisel and sand and chisel some more. And then we cut this puppy in half. Don't know if you noticed, but we did it at once so that the top and bottom would line up perfectly. And next up, we need to get some sanding done. These planks are rather rough around the edges. So what we do, we stack them up like this, and then we sand them one by one. I won't bore you with all that footage. Notice how wavy these strips are along the middle here. Well, to fix that, we need to insert a crossbeam and then attach each and every single strip to that crossbeam. And before we carry on with staining and mounting that screen, let's embrace the bark and build. The missus and I decided to take the dogs for a treat, and so we took them to one of the mountain ranges here in South Africa called Hogsback. And this is what we got. To those wondering why Bruce is always on a leash, well, thanks for asking. It's because this little dude is an adventurer slash hunter. He catches a scent and doesn't come back until he's caught what he smells. We honestly tried letting him go, and before we knew it, he ran down this mountain. I managed to catch up to him, but this was his response. Which brings me to a really cool realization. You see, I've done this many times before. Well, find Bruce, that is. And I'll always do it. I'll always make sure he's okay. And he's just a dog. Sure, he's a cute dog. But how much more do you think God feels like this with us? You see, in Ezekiel chapter 34, God speaks of his heart around his flock and looking after his people. Then his son, Jesus, speaks in Matthew chapter 18 and Luke chapter 15 of God's love, saying, he leaves the 99 to go after the one. God speaks of how he goes out of his way for you. If you're watching this and you're feeling like you're lost, then consider this. God said what he said for you. Okay, let's finish this puppy up. We trim the edges, we stain it, and then we mount it. From myself and the doggos, thank you so much for watching.